Matt, we had a 75-point win over Wilston Grange on the weekend. What were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, it's a really hard-fought game. Wilston Grange played a really good brand of footy. They made it hard for us to get over the top of them. I just think in the end our offence just got the better of them, but it felt like during the game that they had as much of the play as we did. It felt really hard for our girls to get control of the game, which hasn't really been an issue for us most weeks. So probably since the Bond game, I reckon that's the best challenge we've had, and the scoreline is a little misleading. I felt like Wilston Grange had a lot of opportunities to put us under pressure, and they did a really good job. So in the end, our offence really stood up, and to get away with a victory like that, it didn't feel like that. It felt like 5 or 6 goals maybe, but the scoreline flattered us.
You're talking about your offence there. Were you happy with your defence though?
Oh, of course. I think, look, if they had have challenged us a little bit more with their ball movement and maybe gone forward a bit more and a bit quicker, I think they would have had more opportunities to score. But their method was to maintain possession and try and force us to defend. And I think they did a good job of that, but they didn't quite go forward enough and get enough inside 50s to hurt us. But our girls down back, having said that, still did a really good job keeping them to 4 goals, which was pleasing.
And talking specifically about us, who impressed you from our team?
I think Olivia Marr had an outstanding game. I thought she was the best player on the ground. Played as a high forward, massive work rate, kicked a couple of goals, but also set a lot of other goals up as well. So she's a great. We were kind of lucky she fell in our lap this year. At the start of the season, she's really fit, really tough, really skillful, has played at a high level, and she clearly looks like she's one of the better players in this competition. So she lost a couple of weeks with injury and a suspension there, but now that she's back, getting her rhythm going, she's hitting her straps, and she played a really strong game. We also had good input from our girls who've been off playing Suns Academy and Queensland Academy stuff. So those girls came back and really helped us this week with our offensive flow.
And this week we play Yeronga back at home. What are your thoughts out of that game?
Yeah, we played them in round 1. Obviously, we had a really strong win that day. So we've got 5 girls in the Queensland Academy program, so there'll be at least 5 changes to our team. So we've got some girls who've been playing really well in the reserves who had to go back to reserve grade level just to allow some of those girls into the team. So they didn't deserve to go back to that level, but they've definitely been playing really strongly at the seniors level. So they'll come back in, and again, we'll just continue to work on our brand and make sure we put the opposition under pressure when they've got it, but when we've got it, we try and score as much as we can and try and put on a big score.
What's the key with getting players like who go up and down? What's the key for those girls when they go back into the reserves?
I think it's transparency for us. We've got a squad of probably 35 players who should and could be playing QAFL seniors every week, but they're in the best program in Queensland, we believe. So some of those girls have to go up and down at times, and as long as we're transparent with everyone, they know exactly what's going on and why it's happening the way it is. We feel like that's allowing those players to go up and down in the right frame of mind because they understand why it's happening. We've spoken to our girls all the way along that when we get to the bye, from that point on, we'll be picking what we think is going to be our best 21 each week, whether we have some of those academy girls back in or not. So up until then, we're just trying to gather as much information on everybody on our list as we possibly can, and then after the bye we can make those decisions. So as long as we're open and honest with those conversations, we feel like the players are responding really well.
Great, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Cam.